Hello and welcome to today's video. I don't know if this is an anticipated one. It's definitely one I've been asked about before. So yes, I collect manga and I have a lot of manga, but you'll have seen in some of my hauls that I do also pick up light novels, but the light novels aren't for me. They're for my partner Ben, and this is his light novel collection. And he has willingly said that he will happily walk us through what he's got. Isn't that right, Ben?
Sure.
You're looking forward to this, aren't you, Ben? That's too enthusiastic, I don't believe you. Hello, Cat. Cat is also going to help, aren't you? So, Ben's light novel shelves are in the bedroom. As I've done other tours, they're on the other side. I've got manga over here, and I've got manga over here as well. So, Ben has said that I am not allowed to touch these shelves. These are his shelves. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yep.
But there's some gaps. I could fit some manga just here. What do you mean, no? So the bedroom kind of mirrors downstairs. This is the same configuration we have directly below. Full width, half width, full width, half width, full width. Anything else you want to say about your shelves, Ben?
The shelves are a bit different.
In what way?
We've got like smaller ones which don't actually fit any books on them.
And why did you do that?
Because light novels are typically a bit taller than manga.
So you couldn't match the same configuration I did?
No.
I'll allow it. Shall I open the curtains? Try opening the curtains, see if that improves the lights. This is like one of the only sets of shelves where opening the curtains actually helps see what's on them. So you don't just use these shelves to store your light novels, do you?
No, it's mostly light novels and then just bits of whatever's left over because everything else is manga.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, where else am I going to put everything else?
I don't like what you're insinuating. You store your manga. You store your light novels a little differently to how I do my manga, because I do mine alphabetically down like this, and then go on to the next shelf. But you don't do that.
No, I've gone all the way across.
So it goes alphabetical along one row, and then goes on to the next row, and then you've got a nice little gap where you like to take pictures and stuff, don't you?
Yes, it looks slightly more weird now that we've got this extra shelf and a half, but for quite a while we didn't. So I had this gap for making pictures for Instagram,
Which you don't do anymore.
which I need to do more of. Again, whereabouts are we starting?
Usually at the start. What are these?
So this is, well, MISC stuff, but mostly video game novels that aren't technically light novels that I've just picked up from Forbidden Planets and Travelling Lands.
That's not a video game.
No.
So why is that there?
Because it tied into the live action adaptation of an anime.
Okay.
There wasn't really anywhere else to put it.
Okay, so what's this? That's not a light novel.
No, that's a special edition for a Switch game that I picked up. I've got just like a little gap to split the light novels from the other books. And also it looks kind of neat if it didn't have Iron Mouse in front of it. There you go.
And now...
That was the original gap. And then I got that and I put that in as well.
We used to have this on your desk.
Yeah.
And then...
The cats kept stealing it.
Yep. Okay, what have we got next?
We start with dots. We're not even at A. Dot hack, which was originally yours.
No. Well, this has happened sometimes. Sometimes I don't realise something is a light novel, and then I buy it and it turns up, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, oh look, Ben, I bought you a present. And you're like...
Thank you.
Yep, that is the correct response, not you trying to offload your shit on me.
Mm-hmm.
No, this was one. I went through a phase of trying to get a load of dot hack stuff because it's remarkably hard to find, and I did not realise at the time there was a light novel, so that was an accidental pickup. I saw volume 2 on Wonder Books the other day and I nearly picked it up so at least you'd have another one, but I don't even know if you want to read it.
I've not read it yet.
Well, you like the video games?
Yeah, I am vaguely interested in it. I just need to actually get around to reading it on the chance that I can't read the rest of it.
No, I think they're not too bad. I don't know how many there are. There's definitely 2, I think. What have we got now?
Axel World.
1 to 5, 10, 13, 14, 16.
Which is a light novel series written by the person who did Sword Art Online before they did Sword Art Online. I think it was before that.
Oh, was it?
I assume so.
Why do you assume that?
Because I imagine nowadays they do nothing but Sword Art Online.
I mean, this is still releasing.
Yeah.
So I assume, are they doing it at the same time? There's another series in here somewhere that's also by them. Have you read any?
No, I've not read any. I've not.
Okay, next. Accomplishments of a Duke's Daughter, 1 to 4 and 6. And I think to be fair, most of the light novels here, I've gotten you secondhand, haven't I?
Yeah.
You get, and pretty much most of your light novels come from me at Christmas when I buy you like a fat stack to supply you for a year, and birthdays.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've bought you some in store at like Travelling Man, and sometimes you've ordered one or two, but most of them are secondhand, aren't they?
Yeah. I think, yeah, if you buy them, it's normally secondhand. If
Well,
I
hang
buy
on,
them-
why would you phrase it like that?
What do you mean?
Because if you're going to buy it for me, it's only going to be secondhand.
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of these series are going to have gaps or be wildly out of order, because that is just the nature of buying secondhand stuff. I mean, all of these were secondhand, most of these were secondhand or on sale, and still managed to get a decent clear run, which is nice, but yeah, most of the stuff we'll see today is secondhand.
That's also something, Accomplishments of a Drugstore is something you picked up for me because I read the manga and enjoyed the manga.
Yeah, because you're not massively big on romance series.
No.
There've been a few that you have enjoyed,
Yep.
but it's generally not your kind of thing. So when I was trying to get you to read a villainess series, this is the one I pushed you towards, and you really liked it. And you've actually read further than I have in the manga now.
Yeah.
You haven't touched light novels yet, have you? This might be a theme.
This might be a theme.
Because Ben's also reading other books very rudely. Like, he's been reading some of those ones, and there's like a book club going at work, and he's been reading some of those books. It's so rude. But because I'm buying so many of these, like, on sale or secondhand, it's like, this all will have cost way less than any of you probably think it will. I mean, I often have spent, there are light novels in here that I've bought for you that were like 99p.
Yeah, and you'll probably see as we go through that a lot of these have 50% off stickers in them.
Mm-hmm. And they're the ones from Travelling Man. Next, we have a single volume stuck. Oh, yep, these are light novels, so they are the other way round. Can I see it off the spine?
Are you left or right?
Ayla sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. So this was discounted, and it was a volume 1. Sometimes you get a bit mad at me if I get you series, and it's like, here's volume 5, and it's the only volume you have.
Yeah. Like,
Boo.
I understand it, but like I can't read that.
Yeah, well, you will when I get you more.
Okay.
You've not read that one either.
No.
Though I don't think you've really read any slice of life stuff, have you?
No.
You might isekai.
Yeah.
Hardcore, disgusting Haru memes isekai, aren't you?
And on that note, the next series.
On that note, we have Arafaretta, which, yeah, she's like one of your favourites, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a series that I started reading and then like wanted to read the entire series just because it was fun.
So you have 1 to 10 and 12. I got you 12. It was like a new release, and I paid for like £6 on World Books. Which is crazy, because generally light novels cost more than manga.
Yeah.
So a manga normally, pre all the price increases, would probably be $11.99, $10.99. But light novels are usually $12.99 to $14.99, depending on the publisher and how big it is. So they're always just £1 or £2 more, in my experience. So getting it, like, that's why I generally buy them secondhand, because it's way cheaper. But you are missing volume 11. But then, are you up to date?
I think so.
You also have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is a spin-off, or is it a prequel? Well, it is a spin-off.
Prequel.
Is it a prequel?
It's a prequel.
Is an isekai spin-off also an isekai if the isekai doesn't take place in the spin-off?
I don't understand the question.
So this is a prequel. Is there any isekai taking place in that?
I don't know. I've not read it.
Oh, for God's sake, Ben.
I can explain a bit about this series because I've actually read it.
Okay, well done.
So, yeah, it's an isekai.
Oh my god.
It's an entire class of people get isekai to another world, and basically it starts off general run of the mill. There's a demon lord, and we've got to beat up the demons, and so they try and train up these school kids to like be strong enough to be able to fight the demons and beat the demon lord and save the world. And then the like main protagonist guy gets into a bit of a kerfuffle, becomes super strong and OP, and then things get weirder from there and slowly builds a harem.
Oh, okay. Is that all these women on the spines?
Yeah.
You really like it?
Yeah. I think
What
that's
does that say about you?
the general just because like it does get stupidly strong. It's just fun.
It's fun, is it? Okay. Let's move on, you filthy degenerate. Next we have
Ascendance of a Bookworm.
Ascendance of a Bookworm. Now, once again, I think I got almost all of these from World of Books back when you could get 20% off brand new books, like way back in February. I think I gave them to you for your birthday. maybe. So Ascend as a Bookworm is weird that it has parts. So I think all of part 1, all of part 2, and then I'm a bit unsure. Actually, there is a volume 3 missing in part 3, and then we got volume 4 missing here, and then I have no idea what it's up to. I love the spines. I think they're really pretty. I love the Stumpy. I love J Novel Club books.
I think the releases are even like a little bit weirder than that, because I think part 3 and part 4 are releasing at the same time.
Well, they were digitally. I don't know if they are in print.
Yeah.
But they do release multiple parts at the same time. That might be the manga. The manga's releasing digitally. It's somewhere in Ascend.
Confusing.
It is weird and confusing. At some point, somewhere in Bookworm, there are parts releasing at the same time, which I don't understand. I want to say manga because the story's already written, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
But it is still confusing. You're really excited to get this one. Have you read any of the manga?
I've just read the manga. I've not read any of the light novels.
No, but you have read some of the manga.
Yeah. I'm pretty much caught up. Well,
Are
nearly
you?
caught up on the manga.
Are you?
Yeah.
Part 2?
Yeah, I try and keep up to date with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
I hadn't realised. I read part 2, volume 7 or 8 this morning. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I think there's a few releases I've not.
It was good. You're behind. Read more, Ben. Okay, next we've got Asterix War. 1, 2, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is also a very random secondhand series I've been picking you up.
Yep.
I decided to pick it up because I thought the spines looked pretty on your behalf.
You'll get some pretty spans.
But you've not read it either, have you?
No, so I don't really know much about it.
I mean, I don't know anything. I know the manga's complete at 5, which doesn't, I feel, bode well when the light novel's on like 13, and I don't think that's the most recent release. Next we have Baccano Volume 1.
Baccano, I've not read it. It's meant to be really popular.
I was really excited to get you this one because there's like 20 plus light novels out for the series, and they're hard to find. And also, it's hardback. But I got that secondhand. I have got you more Baccano, but you don't get it till Christmas.
Okay.
Got some light novels up there on the shelf over there, which is the beginning of Ben's Christmas present. He knows some of them, obviously, because he's watched some of the videos, but some of it is a surprise. But you're fine with that, aren't you?
Yep.
I thought the manga was shit, this, so don't read the manga. Next we have Berserk Gluttony 4. This is one of the ones you got annoyed at me at.
Just the volume 4. I don't really know anything about that.
It's like that time I got reincarnated as a slime, but a bit more darker and more women.
Oh, okay.
He like absorbs abilities, I think. It's been a while since I read some volumes now. But I thought it'd be your kind of thing.
Yep.
And then I completely forgot to look for more volumes. Maybe that should be what I do for Christmas. I hunt to try and find you the volume 1s of series that you don't have the volume 1s of.
Make it a challenge.
Make it a challenge. But also cheap, and I'm like, well, it's cheap, I might as well get it.
Maybe, yeah. If I've already started the series, then yeah, just fill in stuff in.
What if you haven't got any volumes from the series?
And then I've already got enough series to read.
I don't understand. Next we have Bofurry. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was up to date, but more have come out now. Have you read any?
No.
Have you read the manga?
No.
Then why did you buy a full set in Forbidden Planet?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to read it.
Oh my god, thanks, Ben. Okay, next we have Buck Naked in Another World, 1 and 2. Have you read any of this?
I've read number 1.
Of course you have. Filthy Degenerate. What did you think?
I enjoyed it.
Of course you did. Disgusting.
He kept losing his clothes.
What?
He's butt naked in another world. He gets isekai'd into another world.
It's an isekai.
With just nothing.
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 Do you get pictures?
Some pictures.
Oh. Is that why you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it because it was just fun. He doesn't have any OP cat powers. His only kind of real thing he's got going for him is in his previous life, he did karate a bit. And so he just teaches people karate for a living to try and buy clothes, which he then loses.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Classroom of the Elite, 146 and Year 2 1. Now, you have been pestering me. This is one of the only series where you're like, Caitlin, why haven't you bought me more of this?
Because it's hard to find.
It is very hard to find. These are all secondhand. These were all bought for £6 or less, £5 or less. But I got you volume 1. I don't know why you're complaining.
Yeah, I can read volume 1.
Alright, fine.
Yeah, the series is like, I was going to say weirdly popular in Japan, but I don't know why it's popular, so it might not be weird.
It's really popular over here as well.
Yeah.
Though I thought the manga was a bit shit.
Yeah, there's like, because they track light novel sales in Japan, and Classroom of the Elite is like, unless there's a big release that week, it's usually number one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Start reading it.
yeah. If we can find
Yeah,
more.
okay, fine. I'll get you more Classroom of the Elite. I see how it is. Let's move on. Next we have Combatants Will Be Dispatched 1 to 3.
It's a light novel series from the author that made Konosuba.
You've been reading the manga, haven't you?
I have been reading the manga. I've quite enjoyed the manga. Be excited to read these, but I've not read them yet.
I think I got these all secondhand as well, which is really nice. It's nice when he's like, I'm interested in a series and I can find it secondhand. That's nice. Especially when they're thinner. Next we have Cross-Dressing Villainess Cecilia Sylvie 2. Secondhand, I've got to be honest. Probably more of a Caitlin purchase.
Yeah.
I would like you to read the manga, please.
Okay.
Or the light novel. I don't know, there's a few Villainess especially series where I've bought it for Ben and I would like to get round to it. Just at the moment I have too much manga to read. But there are some that I love so much. This is one of them, and there's a couple others dotted throughout. Next we have Death March to a Parallel World, Rhapsody 1 to 10, then 12, 13, 14, 15. And these have all been bought on sale or secondhand as well, which is really, really absurd. There's a few series here where I'm super pleased at how I've managed to get them. And there's only one gap now before you'll have a clear run. It's so pleasing.
Yep.
When I get you, I'm like, here's some more, and you can fill in more gaps. But I only got you volume 3 really recently-ish, didn't I? It was in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So you haven't wanted to touch it for a while, have you?
No, so that was like a straight run. I do want to jump into it. It's been one of those isekai series where like I've got kind of like a mental list in my head of series, the order I want to read different series. So like I've got like Arifureta that I'm reading through and some other stuff that I'm reading through, and then this is like quite high up on the list of next series to read.
Demon Lord 2099 1 and 2. I didn't pick these up for you. You picked them up.
I picked them up because it's usually fairly rare to get our isekai series that's not fantasy.
Oh, sci-fi?
Yeah, it's meant to be like a cyberpunk isekai.
Oh.
It might not even be an isekai, but
I wanted an isekai.
it says
but it
Demon
might not
Lord
be
in
an
it, so
isekai.
it might be.
Oh my god, Ben.
But yeah, I've not read them.
You're so hyped.
I know, and I keep reading other series instead of that one.
Oh, Ben. I can't even judge you, I'm worse than you. Next we have the Demon Swordmaster of Excalibur Academy 7. And this is the only one you have. I bought it on sale for him. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. I've got a light novel.
The Devil is a Part-Timer, 1 to 5, 14 and 15.
Yeah. I'm interested in reading this because it's like...
It is an isekai.
It is an isekai. And it seems really popular, and I'm not quite sure based on the premise of a guy gets isekai'd to Earth and then works in a McDonald's.
No, not McDonald's.
McDonald's or whatever they do
It's
to
like
not get food.
Yes. It's the other burger fast food place. Silly Ben. These are all secondhand as well. You can tell 14's quite sun damaged. It's a really long series. There's like 20 plus light novels out.
Yeah.
So you are very behind in what you've got. But because you're not overly too bothered yet, I've not rushed in the slightest to find you more.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? And we have 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Once again, all bought on sale, I think for £5 or less. Some of them were bought in HMV, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I think you'll see, the little black dot. That was a HMV one. I can tell from the price sticker.
They just randomly started selling manga and light novels.
Well, it feels like they were selling the offshoots that no one else wanted, because they only had like 4 and 5 of this. And then I got some, I think, from Travelling Man. They had some on sale. But it is an isekai.
It is an isekai.
It's an overpowered cute girl isekai. In the manga releases a volume like every 2 to 3 years. So I barely remember what was happening, but I think there's barely any men in it. It's mostly young cute girls. It's like laid back camp, like cast wise. It is cute. I don't remember. It's just releases so infrequently. There is also a spin-off which I've not started reading. Yes, we have Division Maneuver 1 and 2, and that is a complete light novel, isn't it?
That is a complete series.
There's not many light novels around that are complete, are there?
Nope.
Have you read both?
Yes, I've read both of them.
And?
It was okay.
Great. Any other review comments.
Well, it's basically about Earth being invaded by aliens, and in typical anime fashion, only teenagers can save the world. And so they're like training up to fight these aliens, and time travel's involved at one point, and it gets a bit weird. It seems like a poor man's version of All You Need Is Kill, pretty much.
Okay. Would you recommend it?
Not really.
Cool. Next we have Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attack. Is that... Yeah. I keep wanting to say combo, but there isn't a combo. And you have 1 to 4, 7, 9, 10, 11. I think 11's the last volume, but you are missing a few volumes in between.
Yeah.
You read the manga, didn't you?
Yes, I've read the manga. I also watched some of the anime. I can't remember if it was the entire first season.
Disgusting. So the manga completes at 5, which means it's another series where the light novel will go way past the story in the manga. I don't know how many seasons of the anime there are.
I don't know. At least 1.
Great. Thanks, Ben. Thoughts?
I've not read the light novel, but you're pretty much getting what you've got on the cover.
It's the joy of an isekai, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about? Have you read the title? That's all you need to know, really. And there's more rainbows. Yes, we have Dragon and Ceremony 1 and 2, and I got these both for you on sale. Don't know what it's about, do you?
No, something about a pact or something.
I thought you were going to say something about a dragon and a ceremony, and I'd have smacked you.
No.
Then we have Drugstore in Another World 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Struggling to find volume 3.
It's a common thing for some reason.
You are missing
just...
a few volume 3s.
Yeah.
But you've been looking forward to reading this one too, haven't you?
Yeah, this seems more like a chill
isekai. It is light-hearted. It is very light-hearted. Like, sometimes I read some of the manga and I'm falling asleep. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Also, weirdly, it seems weirdly common in isekais for them to be given the power to be able to produce a potion that can do whatever they want it to do. I think there's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Why that? That's like such a specific sub-trope. I don't know. There you go, Eminence in Shadow 4. And I mean, Eminence of Shadow is also a hardback series, and this was £10 on sale, but as you can see, it does RRP for like $15.99, $16.99, because yeah, it's a hardback, it's a bit more pricey. I read some of the manga recently for Isekai Month, and really, really liked it. It's dumb, I think you'll really love it. But I need to get you earlier volumes.
I'm excited.
Are you?
I am.
Will you read it as soon as I get you them?
Maybe.
You've got a lot of loan volumes here. That's not all my fault. Then you have Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Volume 1. At least it's a volume 1.
So yeah, I've read this one.
Have you?
I've read this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember it was okay. It's
Fucking hell, Ben.
It's kind of got a similar premise to a lot of other isekais. It starts out kind of you've woken up in a cave and you've got some OP powers from somewhere because you nearly died.
Low-level bland male character ends up with a harem of women somehow.
I don't think he's picked anyone up yet.
Is he not?
No, he's just got out of his cave.
There's literally a woman.
Yeah, he turns up.
He's not even on the cover.
Nope.
At least is that him on the back? I'm not...
Maybe.
I think it's him.
It's just words, I don't know.
It's just words. Yeah, I'm not rushed for the manga anymore because it was distinctly fine. Next you got the Faraway Paladin 1. You had this on pre-order. Have you read it?
No.
Benjamin!
I was really excited for it, but it took so long to come out. I had it on pre-order for so long that I just kind of forgot about it.
You did have it on pre-order for like over a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
It was ages, and then it kept getting pushed back, and then like 3 of the mangas came out. There's I think 4 or 5 of the light novels out at least now. I like that it's a hardcover. It was definitely a bit different, the manga, because I've read the first Omni.
Okay.
Definitely a bit different from so far. And then what are these?
The Final Fantasy novels. That should probably be with all the other video game novels.
I was gonna say, we just heard a whole bit about you having a video game light novel section.
These were the first 2 that I bought, so I kind of just put them in.
That's not
with
true.
The rest
You
of the
got
light
the
novels.
Nier ones first.
I'm fairly sure I got those before Nier.
No.
So yeah, they kind of worked their way into the collection and didn't work their way out again.
Okay, next you've got Free Life Fantasy Online Immortal Princess. Volume 1.
Can we just go back and say I have actually read those novels, the Final Fantasy ones?
I just completely just was like they're in the wrong place. I'm ignoring them. Have you read them?
Yes,
Did you enjoy them?
I did enjoy them.
Of course they were. The Final Fantasy 7. I wonder if you like Final Fantasy 7.
I wonder.
Free Life Fantasy Online then.
You got this because you enjoyed the manga?
I did. Though I enjoyed the first volume of manga, and then I didn't enjoy the second one. But I bought you the light novel after only reading the first one. See, it's about a girl who's sort of encouraged by her sister to play a VR game, and it's like an MMO, and she doesn't really know what she's doing and ends up creating a zombie character. You start differently in different places with different items depending on what race you choose, and she's like in this place as a zombie and she's trying to figure out what to do as a zombie and get out. It's quite interesting because she is not a video game player, so it's like someone figuring out and learning what to do, not as a video game player. And then as it progresses a bit more, you find it a bit more boring. You might like it. There's cute girls in it.
Oh, good.
Then you have Full Metal Panic Collector's Edition 1. Is that a light novel?
That is a light novel.
That is a thick hardback light novel.
And there's several of them.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, J-Novel Club. Nice.
I bought it because I'm fairly certain it's a classic sci-fi series, but I've not read it.
I think I heard the same. I think there's a manga.
Probably.
It's probably out of print though. Next you have The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising the Nation Out of Debt 3, 5, and 7. All secondhand. I think there was manga coming out for that. It just sounded like a preposterous enough title that you'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah, probably. If it's weird isekai, I'll try and read it.
And once again, all the spines just have the cute girls on it, and I bet the main character is not a girl, it'll be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
As is the way. Okay, what have we got next?
Ghost in the Shell?
And should that be here?
It depends.
What do you mean, it depends?
Well, I mean, it's not a video game.
No, but neither is Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And that's over there.
If I think that's just because it's based on like the live action series rather than the actual series.
And this is based on...
It's part of the actual series.
Uh-huh.
Which, I've read this one.
Oh my gosh.
It's a series of short stories set in the universe of Ghost in the Shell. And some of them are quite good.
Would you
quite enjoyed it.
Would you
I'd recommend it, yeah.
Good. Spine's a bit boring.
The span is a bit boring, but you know what it is.
Great. And I got the girl I saved on the train turned out to be my childhood friend 1. I got you this on sale.
Mm-hmm.
You've not read it, have you?
No, I've not read it.
You should try A Slice of Life 1 light novel. I've got you a few, and I don't think you've read any of them.
Yeah, I should.
I don't know if that's the one to start with, though.
I was going to say, there's probably more interesting sounding ones to start with.
How is that? That's like an isekai title. You know exactly what you're going to be getting.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's Facebook status.
Benjamin! Well, we've done 1 row, and we've got 2 more full rows and like a bit of a row. So this might be a bit long. Depends how long Ben natters for. Next we've got some Goblin Slayer 1 to 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. And also the Goblin Slayer TRPG. Why is that on there?
Because it's part of Goblin Slayer and there is a story in there as well.
Oh, is there?
I think so.
You've read some of it, haven't you?
What, Goblin Slayer the series? No.
Yeah, you read the first one.
Did I read the first one?
You've read the first one.
I've read the first one.
For God's sake, Ben.
And I've read the TRPG book. I also watched the first season of the anime. Which is why I was super interested in it, because I really enjoyed it.
It's a lot darker than I realised, though the volumes are plastic wrapped, so I don't know why I was surprised.
Goblin Slayer really does enjoy slaying goblins.
Should we try and get you the missing ones? What do you need? 5 and 9? There's probably more than 10 light novels, though. But
Yeah,
then...
and there's like spin-offs. I don't know. There's manga spin-offs. I don't know if there's
I
like manga
think
spin-offs.
the light novels have... Well, some of them have spin-offs too.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me which ones. The Greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. 1, 2, 6, and 7.
I have not touched it.
No, these were just random secondhand volumes from all the books. I was just really pleased to find you a volume 1. Because you had 6 and 7 for ages.
Yeah. Is it telling about the series that the spans have a guy on them?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, a lot of the series just have like women along the spans, but this one has kind of tried to mix it up. Does that mean it's better than normal, or worse than normal, or it's not an indicator of anything?
I think it more reflects poorly on the other series
Okay.
than anything on this one. Then we have Grimgar, A Fantasy in Ash, 6, 10, 11. These are really hard to find and expensive, but I hear it's meant to be a really good isekai. The manga is complete at 3, so I don't really have high hopes for the manga. But the light novel's on like it's quite a few.
I feel like it's kind of like the situation where like there's a series of manga that's like really popular, but then it gets turned into an anime, and the anime only gets 1 season.
Yeah, it happens like it's happened more than I realized that the manga just stops, and there's so much more story out there.
Yeah.
I only really had one in mind, which was I'm the villainess, I'm taming the final boss. I don't know if I've got you any of those, but like there's actually quite a few where it's like that. Next we have Hajia Skill, the guild member with a worth of skills, actually a legendary assassin, 1 and 2. So it's not an isekai.
It's not.
But I quite like the manga. Very over the top and silly, and he's got the sort of personality I think you'd enjoy reading about.
On the to read list.
Isn't everything?
Everything's on the to read list. This is just one gigantic TBR. It's not a pile, it's neatly organised.
It's alphabetically.
Yeah.
I'm a volume I think behind reading the manga, but I do enjoy it. Next we have the Haunted Bookstore, Gateway to a Parallel Universe, 1 and 4. Now the volume 4 is a bit battered. It's probably one of the worst condition volumes I've gotten you. Volume 1 was
described as very secondhand.
Volume 1 is new, and I got you in a 3 for 2 in London. I thought the spine was pretty, because it's a slightly isekai, but it's not like overpowered skills, it's like yokai stuff. Her Majesty's Swarm 1, which is a very, very thin... What is that? Is that the author's name?
Yeah. The author's name is 616 Special Information Battalion.
That's not a name.
That's not a name, but that's the author's name.
Okay.
And I've read that one because it's tiny. It's basically an isekai.
Oh my god.
This girl pretty much just gets isekai'd into StarCraft, and she's playing the Zerg, which are like the insectile, creepy race, and so she makes a swarm and starts taking over the world.
Okay.
And volume 1, she's like not stopped. So yeah, it was okay.
More sci-fi.
Probably need more than 1 volume to.
Oh, that's so thin.
Probably get into the story.
That's a joy of light novels. Light novels are often a lot thicker, but that's sad.
I think it's close to the shortest novel I have on the shelf. I think there is one that's shorter. Another J Novel Club novel.
I think I know which one it is.
Mm-hmm. We can probably tell.
When we get there. We have the hero and his elf bride open a pizza parlor in another world. I think this is a one-shot light novel.
Yeah, it is a one-shot novel. And this one you didn't get me.
I didn't get you this one. Friend gave it to you.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want it.
He's like, you've got this light novel lying around, do you want it? I was like, sure, I'll read it.
And it was this. I don't even know how he ended up with it, because he doesn't really read manga or anything. I don't know. I think a friend gave it to him. And
then I got it.
And then you got it. It was a very weird situation when he was like, do you want this? And you're like, why have you got that?
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it says on the tin. Guy gets isekai'd into this elf forest, pretty much, and they've not bothered making good food. Everything's like lember spread.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
That's okay.
So he opens a pizza parlor, and then he kind of gets really popular in the elf village because he makes food that actually tastes nice.
And gets a bride.
And that's pretty much the entire novel.
Oh, okay. Would you recommend it?
If you're bored on an afternoon, I guess. Fill some time.
It's not exactly glowing. We have the hero is overpowered but overly cautious, 1, 2, and 5. I really like the manga of this.
Yep.
And I've actually seen some more of these pop up on World of Books. I keep meaning to grab for you. Wait, first 2 are matte, and the 5th one is shiny. Just noticed that. Why would they do that? I think Yimpress do that sometimes.
Just to make you uncomfortable.
It makes me sad. Have you read any of the manga?
Yes. I don't know if I'm caught up on the manga, but
I'm not caught up on the manga.
A fair few volumes of it. But light novel, I've not read any.
I like the guy. I love just the blaseness.
I can't remember if I've read the first one or not.
I don't think so, because I think it's been quite recent that I gave that to you.
Okay.
I think. Next we have the hero laughs while walking the path of vengeance for a second time. This is one of the more damaged volumes I got. I did get a full refund for it. I think it's still damaged. Just some sellotape, I guess. I like the manga. It's very dark.
It looks very dark.
It is quite dark. I mean, he's covered in blood. Laughter and vengeance.
It's got a guy on the spine.
It has a guy on the spine. Doesn't release manga very often, which is sad.
Oh, okay.
I like that. That's good. And we have high school prodigies have it easy even in another world. 1 to 6, we have a clear run. And do you remember who bought you these 50% off ones?
I'm gonna guess it was you.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
No. Do you not remember? You were actually there. You don't remember, do you?
Was it DB Attacker?
It was DB Otaku.
Oh, okay.
He bought you those 3. Because you're his buff boy. Yeah, the others I got secondhand or discounted, I think, in Forbidden Planet London sale for $1.99. I like the manga. You haven't started reading it though, have you?
I've not.
It's a group of high school prodigies have been isekai'd, and they all have really. It's not even like OP abilities. They're just really, really good at something they do, and they all are good at something different. And they all use those skills in this new world to like take it by storm, I suppose.
Now, is that a similar premise to Classroom of the Elite?
It's not an isekai Classroom of the Elite.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know anything about that series.
You don't. Why is she here?
Because if I put her down there, the cats might get it.
The cats will not get her down there.
Okay.
I can't believe you don't trust our cats. Next we have the hidden dungeon only I can enter 1 to 6. This was another one I piecemealed with the secondhand volumes. And now you have a clear run.
Yeah, I've not touched it.
Okay.
I think you've read the manga.
I've read some of the manga. I don't hold it in high regard. But you might like it.
Yeah.
It's not an isekai.
I've got something to chew through.
You've got a lot of stuff to chew through.
Yeah.
You're gonna have very sore jaw. I love the Stumpy 7 Seas. That's my favourite kind of book.
Yeah.
I think they're so cute. Next we have Hollow Regalia 1. And I got this in a Yen Press gift box. I don't know what the word is. They kindly sent me a bunch of manga, and they also sent me a light novel, and they sent me this light novel, and I immediately handed it to Ben to read.
Yep.
And Ben's verdict was?
I enjoyed what I read, but I'd want to read more of the series to properly get into it. I don't think there was quite enough in there to properly sink in.
Okay. I hope the other covers are different colours. I think that'd be really nice. Okay, we took a short break, but next we have How a Realist Herobri Built the Kingdom 1, 7, 10, and 12.
Yeah, I've read the first one.
And?
It was okay. The end was a bit anticlimactic. Like, it was building up to this big thing at the end of the first volume, and it just kind of wasn't that big.
Oh, okay. You have 12. Well, there's at least 12 out.
Yeah. So maybe it gets better.
They're nice and chunky. Well, they start nice and chunky, and then they get a little thinner. That seems to be quite common in both manga and light novels, though.
For most series.
For a lot of series. Then you have How Not to Summon a Demon Lord 1, 2, and 5.
I've read the first one, and I've watched a chunk of the anime. It's exactly what you think when you think of isekai.
Disgusting.
Like, to a T. It's the most tropey series I think I've read so far.
Would you recommend it?
If you enjoy that kind of thing, it's nothing. I don't know how to word it.
Good.
Yeah, it's not great, but if you want like the tropey isekai stuff and you're going in for that kind of thing, then it does deliver on that front. But it's not great by any stretch of the imagination.
I think these have all been secondhand, except maybe the first one. I think you might have bought the first one somewhere.
Yeah.
I Shall Survive Using Potions 1 to 3 and 5.
I have not touched that series.
These are all secondhand.
Yeah.
J Novel Club volumes tend to be a bit more pricey, especially for how big the volumes are, both Demon Lord and Potions, both J Novel Club. Now, interestingly, the manga is published by different publishers. Survive Using Potions is J Novel Club, but Demon Lord, I think, is Yen Press. Or is it 7 Seas? Actually, it might be 7 Seas. It's not J Novel Club, which is all that's important.
And I Shall Survive Using Potions is, I think, another one of those series where the isekai power is just they can make potions.
Yes, like Drugstore in Another World. So I said, it's weirdly common. I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire 1 to 4. You have a clear run.
I think we kind of picked these as they came out.
No, I got you 4 secondhand.
Yeah. I picked up the first one, I think.
Have you read it?
I've read the first one. It seems like it could be quite fun. The premise is like okay, it can be. It probably get pretty silly.
I wasn't impressed by the manga.
Was you not?
No, it felt like they were trying to put a law reason that it was okay for a preteen to have a lusty relationship with a booby robot maid. It's fine because on this world he's actually 70.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't remember that bit. It was more the kind of
Political.
yeah. He's trying really hard to be like an evil lord, but everything he does just ends up making everything better for everyone.
It did.
So-
I mean, obviously, based on what you've said, the manga obviously doesn't get to the end of the first novel, so you'll have read more story than I have. But
Yeah.
that was most of the gist I took away from Volume 1.
The weird robot thing.
The weird, it's okay, he's not actually as young a child as he looks, he's 70 or whatever it was. Because time and age works differently on this planet. Anywho, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 12. And the spin-off, I was a bottom tier bureaucrat for 1500 years and the Demon King made me a minister.
So I think I've read a bunch of the manga.
You have read a lot of the manga, you're further ahead than me reading the manga.
And it's just a cozy slice of life. I don't think it's an isekai.
It is an isekai.
It is an isekai.
It is an isekai, Benjamin.
Video game isekai.
Is it?
Ish. Well, she's leveling up.
Oh, I thought you meant she was into a video game. I started to get a little bored, so I'm not up to date with reading the manga anymore. But you mostly are.
Yeah, I think they started up. It kind of started to drag a bit, and then they started up a new arc, which has kind of helped.
Oh, okay. So I need to try and get back into it. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat the Demon Lord 1 and 4. This is upsettingly thin. Also, I don't know how I feel about the covers. They're so different to the manga. The manga is just like a big chibi face of the girl in a different outfit. You haven't started reading it yet, have you?
I've not started reading it yet.
They were both bought secondhand. I thought the first couple of manga volumes were cute. It's not an isekai, it's just a fantasy, so I don't know if it would be your kind of thing, really. In Another World with My Smartphone 1 and 2. This series is on like 20 plus volumes.
It's just stupidly long. Also stupidly popular. I don't know why.
You watched the anime,
I watched the anime.
and
The anime was weird.
yeah,
The
even by your standards.
the premise is fine, but the actual what they do with it is just a bit. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it by the end of the season. So I'm not in a rush to start this. It's just one
I
of the really popular series. So.
slightly got you the light novel for the Bants because you were like, do not get me this series. And then I was like, guess what I've got you? And you were like, really?
Yeah.
I was just really happy to find you 1 and 2,
Yeah.
considering how long it is. So yeah, suck it, Ben. Next we have In the Land of Lido 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Not touched it. People seem to like the series.
I really, really like In the Land of Lido. It's a nice isekai. The covers are very pretty. It's a nice overpowered isekai. The female lead, not really much Harry memes, and I found it funny, and I was enjoying the story. A couple of these I've got you secondhand. A couple of these we bought you in store or half price. You're missing 3, and I think 6 is out as well. But you haven't started reading it.
No.
But I do. That's an isekai I really like. 4's just come out, I think. Infinite Dendrogram 1 and 9.
I don't know anything about the series.
You were really excited to pick up the first one.
Were they?
Yes.
Were they?
Yes, you were.
All I see about it is J Novel Club banging on about it. I assume there's a lot of volume.
There is. It's in the late teens.
Yeah.
If not later. Okay, moving on then. Invincible Shovel 1 to 3.
I've read the first one, and I thought it was great.
I have read the manga. I too think it is great. I genuinely don't know how you describe it though.
No, it's like...
Without saying like, praise be the shovel, which just makes you sound insane.
It's not an isekai.
That is always how I open it, yes.
It's not an isekai. It's a fantasy series that's a comedy. It's kind of got like a One Punch Man vibe, but it's not quite in the same vein.
It kind of is. it's the shovel can do all.
It can do literally everything.
The shovel is all powerful, and this isn't even the main character. The main character is this guy.
He's on the back.
Oh, that's where he's. There he is. The main
Alan.
yeah, Alan, who has been digging for so long with his shovel that he's now like one with the shovel and can do anything with the shovel. He's OP with the shovel. But he like just accepts it as like, yeah, this is what I can do with the shovel. And this princess decides to start like a church of the shovel.
Yeah, they just worship the shovel.
They worship the shovel. It's wonderfully dumb. It's a series where I'm like, I'm not sure I'd call it good.
Yeah.
But it's great. Also, that subtitle. Do you want to pronounce that, Ben?
It's got Kachum in it and Kalmojis.
We could just read it out.
Wave motion shovel blast Kachum.
You missed all of this.
You'll need audio description for that.
Oh, you can make audio noises. Fine, moving on. The Irregular of Magic High School 1, 5, and 10. I think these are just random fantasy volumes I've been picking up for you.
Yeah.
If not,
things are cheap and they're light novels, so they just kind of end up on
yeah,
the shelf.
I mean, light novels, I feel a lot of the time, light novels in general aren't as popular as manga. And there are certain light novel series that are not as popular as some. So like your Goblin Slayer, your ReZero, your Shield Hero are going to be some of the more popular ones, and then you get some like this that are less popular. Again, not to say that they're bad, just in general, light novels aren't as popular, but they do pop up quite often. Random volumes. I think I got you volume 10 first.
Yeah.
But because of Secondhand, they usually just random volumes will pop up, and I can slowly but surely build you up a full set.
Yep.
If that's what you want.
Yeah.
So we have the Isolator 1 and 2. These are hardbacks.
They are hardbacks. So I think this is a new series from the author of Sword Art Online.
Oh, I knew there was another series by them.
So yeah, there is something being produced other than Sword Art Online. I don't know when this guy takes a break.
I was going to say, he must be really knocking him out. I mean, I don't know if he's writing progressive, but there's that as well when we get to it. Then we have, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Do you finally have a clear run? Nope, you're missing 10.
Nearly.
This is nearly been all secondhand as well, or on sale. I don't like how drastically different the thicknesses are. 7, 8, and 14 are like, oof. And then like 9, 12, 13 are like, eh.
Yeah, it gets into this weird position, I think, with some of the light novel authors. You see it in some of the other series where they've written... They don't try and fill the light novel length. They just kind of write a story and then try and fit it. And sometimes you get into a position where it should probably be split into 2 parts. But for whatever reason, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And sometimes parts suffer because they've not got enough story in it.
Oh, so you're saying that these, they like wrap to like the end of the arc or a story, and that's why you get such a fluctuation?
Yeah, like some authors just are very good at editing their own work.
Wow.
And when a series becomes popular enough, the publisher becomes less and less keen on saying no to them.
Oh, okay. You've heard it here. Ben would not lie to me. Next we have, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Sword Oratoria, not Sword Oratio, which I seem to keep calling it. It's not called that. And you have a clear run. You have a clear run to 11. You have a clear run to 11. So this is a spin-off. I don't know at what point in the main series it takes place, before, after, during.
Probably talk a bit more about like what the series is, because I've read volume 1, but I've watched...
Have you actually?
Yeah, I read volume 1, and I've seen the first season of the anime, which is why I was interested in the series. It's
not an isekai.
Not an isekai, but it's a series about a guy who... there's like adventurers that explore a labyrinth for like treasure and gains and whatnot, and most people are under the care of like a goddess which gives them their powers. That's the goddess that the protagonist is under. They're both on the side. It's basically following their attempts to explore the labyrinth and get stronger and do other stuff. It's basically shown an isekai goodness. It's relatively well done.
Is it not an isekai?
Not an isekai, just a fantasy.
You have like stats and stuff.
Yeah, which is they have this like weird ritual to check your stats. It's not like on a card or anything.
It involves taking your clothes off.
It does involve taking your clothes off.
So I've read some of the manga. I read the first 10 and then it got weird and they just seemed to stop it. And then they've done a part 2, but I don't think it continues on. I think it just sort of I don't know. I've not read my part 2 yet, and then there's like 1,000 spin-offs. Like Oratoria. And the Familiar Chronicles. This one is episode Freya, so I think they do a different... I think there's a whole series of Familiar Chronicles for different characters, and this is just one of them.
Okay. I've not touched any of the spin-offs.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a load of the volumes.
Yeah.
Then you have J.K. Haru's A Sex Worker in Another World Summer. Now, J.K. Haru is based on a light novel. It's actually a single light novel, I believe. And this is a side story. It's a collection of side stories. It's still a light novel from the main series.
So, yeah. We don't have any of the light novel of the actual main series, but we do have the manga.
Yeah.
Which I've read and I think I'm caught up with.
Nope.
And they're still a bit behind.
I'm behind,
Okay.
and they're still plastic wrapped. So unless you've managed to read it without taking the plastic wrap off, you've not read it.
And no, I'm still behind, but I've read a fair few of them.
This was on sale on Black Calls for like $4.99.
Nice.
That was why I got it for you.
Oh, but it's a thin volume.
It is a thin volume, but it's still $4.99 for a thin volume. I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's the... Does it say what it RRP's at? Well, $14.99 US. That'd probably be about £10. Maybe a bit more nowadays. Whatever the exchange rates are, who knows? And next, you have Kingdom Hearts 3, the novel, the first one. You are a big Kingdom Hearts fan.
I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan.
I'm not entirely sure you want to read the novel, but I got it for you anyway.
Yeah. I might read it at some point. I don't know whether this is another volume that I should probably extract and put with the rest of the video game books.
That's true. You're like, okay, I've got this whole grand reasoning behind my placement, and then you've just broken it like a dozen times.
It's the struggle of being a librarian, I guess.
No,
No, it's not.
no, I don't struggle.
You do.
I only struggle for space. It's different.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
Okay.
What do I struggle with? I just put it alphabetically.
Yeah. Well, sometimes things will get out of position.
Barely. Not on my watch. Next, you have a whole ton of Konosuba stuff. We've got Konosuba 1 to 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17. The 17 is the final volume in the light novel. It's actually an isekai that is complete. That is the last one. Then you also have An Explosion on This Wonderful World 1 and 2. And then also whatever the hell this is, which I think is a spin-off of the spin-off. Explosion on This Wonderful World, Deadbeat Busters, and that's only the second one. And also the TRPG book.
So, I think I've read 1 or 2 of these. I've watched the series, and I loved the anime series. It was great.
I mean, you didn't get volume 3 and 4 until, like, recent.
Yeah. We had a gap. I couldn't progress.
I mean, you still need 5 and 8, 12, 13. We've got quite a few.
Do we need to explain the premise of Konosuba?
Do the... There you go, that's the premise. I don't know, I feel like Konosuba is quite a well-known isekai. A guy's got an isekai, and he drags this useless goddess Aqua with him. And then he acquires 2 more adventurers, and they form a party, and they're all a bit shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much a comedy.
It is.
So it's all just like silly hijinks, and it's
All a bit shit.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
And Rainbow, which is nice. Apart from 4, which is like off poop colour. Next, we have some We do have Sephiroth, and he is guarding Kuma Bear, 1 to 7 and 10. I forgot for a moment what number came after 5. Is it 6? Yes, it is 6. 1 to 7 and 10.
I've read the first 2, I think. I don't think I've read 3. So Kuma Bear is an isekai that is a girl that gets isekai'd into another world with this bear onesie that gives her OP powers. And so she essentially she's OP, so she just kind of does everything, and everyone gets super impressed. It's like a really quick, light read. It's just a cozy isekai. It's not particularly grand. It's not particularly crazy. With
everything's teddy bear themed.
Yeah.
What's the main character's name?
Yuna.
And why is that name familiar?
Because it's the name of one of our cats.
Where did we get the name for our cat from?
Kuma Bear.
Yeah, there she is, acting like a big teddy bear, aren't you? Oh. Can we? Oh my gosh! Cut that fluff into the fluff. Sorry, Una. How have you got bits of cardboard in your armpit? Okay, I'll leave you to that. So do you like Kuma Bear?
Yeah, it's alright.
Great.
I've been enjoying it. It's like don't have to kind of commit to it too much because it's really quick. You can just kind of go through one in an afternoon. They're all like really short chapters, so you can just like pick it up, read a little bit, put it back down again.
I mean, I think they're not like.
Each chapter's only like 5 to 10 pages.
Oh, okay. I love the stumpy 7 Seas light novels. Last round, Arthur's 1 to 4. I got you these all on sale, I think.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it.
I think it's fantasy. The manga is only 2 volumes. I know that. I don't have high hopes for the manga when I get to it. Legend of Galactic Heroes 1, 2, and 9.
So yeah, I've read 1 and 2. Need to try and get some more. It's a classic science fiction space opera series to nations that are at war in space, which dives into the politics and all the kind of the lives of the people that are on the ground fighting the war and all the people at the top of the war, and it gets all crazy and fun. It's really good. Of the 2, it has an anime that's like 50 episodes long or something, and then they remade the anime recently, like a few years back, I think. So it's got all the fancy special effects in it, from the studio that did Ghost in the Shell. So it's well liked. I like it. Just need to find more volumes. Yeah, I can only ever find 1, 2, and 9.
Yeah, I haven't checked World of Books in a while. Next, we have Log Horizon 1 to 11.
I've read all of it.
You love Log Horizon, don't you?
I love Log Horizon. It's great.
So when's 12 coming out?
Never ever.
Not bitter at all, are you?
Yeah, there's 11 volumes out in English. I think there's about 15, if not out in Japan, written and in the process of coming out in Japan.
Aren't they online, like web? They're available like as web novels. It's just they've not been printed.
Yeah, some of them have been printed. Some of them are still in web novel form. I've read them all because I love this series. The premise is basically, this is an MMO, and as the new expansion comes out for the MMO, everyone that's playing at midnight gets transported into the world of the MMO, and I was going to say it's not a death game like Sword Art Online. If you die, you just kind of resurrect, but they have to try and figure out how to get out of the game.
Is this what you're hoping will happen with 14, with Final Fantasy 14?
We get transported into the world and get stuck there. So
you stuck as a Windstower buff Rockadin.
there's stuff that happens about that at the beginning.
What if you becoming a buff Rockadin?
Well, no. So like it's like first volume stuff, but like everyone gets transported into the game. Eventually, people stop looking like their character and just look like what they look like in the real world. So all the characters that are like guys who have made women turn into guys just wearing dresses and things.
Oh, like in Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be a buff Rockadin?
I think so anyway. I think that's the way it works. No. So
no one would be a buff Rockadin. That's heartbreaking.
Part of like what makes the series so fun is in order to try and get out of the game, they kind of start breaking the rules of the game, and so the series just takes a big look at like how MMOs work and how RPGs work and kind of deconstruct video games in novel form. And it's quite interesting the way they go about it.
You can now sit and cry about never getting Volume 12.
Never ever. There's some like weirdness which has prevented the English releases coming out. Yeah, Volume 11 came out like 2017 or something. It's been ages since that came out.
Write your own ending.
Could write my own ending.
The magic in this other world is too far behind 1 and 8.
I have not read this series.
Have you not? I thought you read Volume 1.
No.
Oh, never mind. But Secondhand, move this here. Magic user Reborn Another World as a max level wizard 1 to 3.
So I have read Volume 1. I don't think I've read Volume 2. This is an isekai with a guy in his 30s that gets isekai'd, which is relatively uncommon. It's always like high school kids. So this is a guy in his 30s that gets isekai'd into his like Dungeons and Dragons campaign or something.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's got like Dungeons and Dragons character sheets in the back of the book.
Ooh.
And he's like a really strong wizard. And
he's
goes
actually
around doing OP wizard stuff.
He's actually on the
world.
cover.
And he's actually on the cover and on the span.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed Magic User. I need to read more of it.
So you have Magical Explorer Reborn as a side character in a fantasy dating sim 1 to 3. I got you these all secondhand as well, or a half price. I think, actually, how much? Yeah, $4.99 for that one. So, and I think the others were a similar price. I don't think you've read it, have you?
I have not.
Have you read the manga?
No.
I didn't think the manga was very good. It has a very similar premise to a series we've not gotten to yet, which I do like, and you liked. So I was like, maybe if it's similar, we'll both like this one. I wasn't impressed. Sorry, Ben. Magistella's Bad Trip 1.
I've read this.
Do you have 2?
I have 2. It's at the start of the next shelf.
Is it? No, it's not.
Oh no, I don't have 2. I keep meaning to get 2.
Oh my god!
I keep seeing Volume 2 in shops and I just never pick it up. But I do want to pick it up. So yeah, I enjoyed that. It's not an isekai. It's a story about this make-believe MMO that, like, the economy for the MMO also runs the economy in the real world.
Okay.
The story follows this guy playing the MMO, and most people in the MMO just carry out like heists and thefts and stuff to steal money so that you earn loads of money in the real world. It's pretty much like if GTA Online ran the world economy.
Oh dear.
And so it's basically like weird Ocean's 11 type stuff in an MMO. And it gets really weird at the end.
You really enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
And you don't have Volume 2?
No.
I'll try and find you Volume 2 then. Okay, a few days later, and next shelf we have Modern Villainess. It's not easy building a corporate empire before the crash.
Before the crash?
1. I think I got you a few Villainess titles in a 3 for 2 in London.
Yeah.
And then gave them to you for Christmas. I think this is another one you've not touched.
No. I don't know how many Villainess stuff I've actually touched, apart from Trapped in a Dating Sim, which isn't a Villainess thing.
It's not a Villainess thing.
The closest I've been to a Villainess light novel, I think.
You've read some mangas. I don't think you've touched any of the light novels.
Yeah. I've read mangas, but not the light novels. You've got me.
I did vaguely wonder if you'd like this one because of what you said about what you liked about Accomplishments of a Duke's Daughter, which was like focused on the politics and stuff, the world building. This kind of vaguely sounded like that over the romance.
Okay.
I say that reading the subtitle. That's the limit of my knowledge. Muscles are better than magic too. I got you this secondhand from Willow Books. So yeah, you got Volume 1. It just sounded like the sort of dumb thing you'd like.
It's muscles are better than magic is like not vaguely. It felt like Mashal. I've not read it, but I'm kind of going into it with having read Mashal.
Mashal almost feels more dumb because I've read the first volume of the manga. There's something else it reminds me of, but I can't remember off the top of my head. There is another series. I can't remember. Next, Mushoku Tensei 1, 2, 14, and 18. This is a very popular isekai series.
Yeah. I've read 1 and 2. I can't read anymore.
No, you can't read anymore. It's a very long series. Actually, there's quite a few here that are quite long and at least hit the 20s. You just might not have all of them, but this is one of the longer ones. It is complete as well, isn't it? The light novel is complete. I think they have printed the last one as well. I know it's had controversy in so many different ways. It had a printing controversy because of translation issues. It's had the controversy of it being creepy, him with all the women, because he's like a middle-aged guy.
Yep.
In the body of a kid that grows up. Having not really read very far into Mushoku Tensei, I don't know what it is about this one that's put people off compared to other ones, because a lot of them are quite similar, where a middle-aged guy has been isekai'd into a younger body, gets with a bunch of girls. That's not me saying it's okay. I just wonder what it is about this one that seems to get the most heat from my experience.
I don't know.
Next we have My Happy Marriage 1, and yeah, I got it 50% off in Traveling Man a bit ago. I absolutely adore the manga. This was kind of picked up for me, especially because it's on sale. I'm not too sure if you'll read it, Ben. I'd say maybe try the manga first, but it's very, very thin. Though what's crazy is the first 3 manga, I think, cover this. I think 3 manga volumes are this one, which just shows how much manga material they get out of light novels.
Yeah, I mean, it's either the light novel is really dense, or the manga's not got a lot from the light novel, or they've added to it.
Because I was curious, having got to the end of volume 2, I was like, at what point does this end? And this wrapped up the bit that happens at the beginning of volume 3 in the manga. And then there's a very noticeable bit in the manga where it feels like the arc's wrapping up, and I'm fairly sure that's what the end of volume 1 is. So there is a bit in the manga at the end of volume 3 that maybe is volume 2. I haven't not read the light novel. This is all guesswork. But it's just, I think it's interesting sometimes, just where you're like, oh my god, they're on 17 of the manga. How there can't be much left to take from the light novels that only have 20. And it's like, no, that's not how it is. It's like 2 or 3 manga per volume, at least.
Yep.
Potentially even more if it's got lots of fight scenes, because that drags in manga. Next we have My Hero Academia School Briefs 1-4. I originally, way back when, picked a few up thinking it was manga. It's not. And then I picked a couple more because I found them on sale. And I've kind of stayed up to date, but I've not read them yet.
You up to date with the manga?
I am up to date with the manga. I have ordered the most recent one, which probably won't be that recent by the time this video goes up, though. I think there's actually 6 of these out, so these are behind as well. But they're Viz, so hopefully I can get them in a 3x2 at some point.
Yep. I mean, I've been watching the anime.
I think this is like, it takes place in between. It's not like a retelling of the main story. It's like side stories around the edges. It's meant to be more lighthearted.
It looks more like hearted. He seems kind of chirpy.
And he never smiles in the manga, does he?
Never, ever.
A mysterious job called Oda Nobunaga? And they're the wrong way around, Ben.
I know. I've been staring at it the entire time. Like, just.
There we go.
Fixed.
No one will ever know. Yeah, I think I got these again for you in the Traveling Man sale, and it was a volume 1. So I was like, you can be less mad when I get you a volume 1, but you've not touched it. I have no idea what it's about either. I got you some random stuff.
Yeah. I also don't know anything about it apart from I know who Oda Nobunaga is he's a historical figure. But in the context of this light novel, I have no idea.
Next we have some Naruto light novels. These are mine, and I've actually read some of these.
Let's go.
This is from like while I was at uni, when I only collected like 5 series, and one of them was Naruto, and I bought some of the light novels and read them. So I've read the Kakashi one, the Shikamaru one, and the Sakura one. I have not read the Itachi one. There's also loads more. They published loads. It's probably a good like 10 plus now. There's Sasuke one. I think there's another Itachi one, which is why this one has a subtitle. They were quite pleasant. I like the Shikamaru one the most. Kakashi like revealed a load about his backstory, and I can remember absolutely nothing about the Sakura one. But they're not bad. I did actually surprisingly enjoy them. I think I struggle to think of it as like not just fan fiction because it was words and not manga. But I think that might just be me. So we have No Game, No Life 1 and 7. What a pretty cover. I love how colourful the covers of this series are. Just gloriously bright. Just don't ask how old the main character is.
Yeah, I've read the first one. It's been quite a while since I read the first one, but I vaguely remember what it was about. Which is, I think, a brother and sister who are really, really good at video games, and they do something with that. I don't think it's an isekai.
It is an isekai.
It is an isekai. Well, maybe that answers that then.
Did you hear the cat sneeze?
I did hear the cat sneeze. Yeah, they use their video game abilities to win at everything in this other world.
And there's a questionably close relationship between a brother and sister.
Yeah.
There's 2 volumes of manga, and I don't think that's technically complete, but it's been on hiatus for like ever. So I don't know if it'll ever come back, or if it's online, or there's no print. I don't know. No idea in the slightest. I just know there's 2, and yeah. A few other series like that, actually. Next we have NPCs in this village game must be real 1 to 3. Is it complete at 3?
I think it's complete at 3.
It says he'll uncover the truth once and for all. Oh, I think I have like 4, maybe 5 volumes of the manga. So I read the manga first. I really quite liked it because it's not an isekai, but there's like elements.
There's another world involved.
Maybe. There is another world potentially involved. It's all a bit mysterious. It's kind of neat, and it's video gamey.
Yep.
And you like video games?
Yep, I like video games. This video game seems to be just like The Sims.
It is like a very hardcore Sims, but I quite like that it's helping this guy turn his life around.
Yeah.
He's becoming a better person because of these Sims, because he wants to buy the coins. Have you finished reading all the light novels?
No, I've only read the first one.
Oh, okay. I don't think the manga's complete. I'm not sure now. I'll have to go check which volumes I've got. Next we have One Piece Ace of Story 1 and 2. That is complete as well. I think this is like what Ace was up to. What Ace was up to before he like appears in the One Piece, the main story, or in between, maybe after his appearances and in around those appearances, in the lead up to another appearance without too many spoilers. But I haven't read it yet. I like the shiny. I also like it still has like, I could put it next to my manga and like the One Piece and it would still kind of vaguely look okay, I think. So kind of like that. Next we have Orc Eroica? What?
Orc Erica.
Orc Erica? That's not what it says.
Eroica.
Eroica.
I think.
Is that a word?
No, it's made up.
Great.
Like all words.
Benjamin! This looks like it's plastic wrapped. Have you not read the first one, Ben? I thought you were excited to get this one.
I've not read the first one, I've just not gotten around to it. I've been focusing on like Harry Feretta and Log Horizon.
Ah, so the slightly lesser degenerate series. I got you some of those for Christmas. I think I got one of them secondhand. Are they all plastic wrapped? They are all plastic wrapped. I was just wondering if I got a secondhand one of them might not be. So, there aren't many light novels that you've gotten that are plastic wrapped.
No. They tend not to care that much because it's not pictures.
It's words.
Yeah.
The words can't be saucy.
But you can go as wild as you want in words.
Really? So what do they do in this?
I have no idea, I've not opened it.
God's sake, man. Next we have Otherworlder Exploring the Dungeon 2 and 3. Again, I got you both of these on sale. Having read the manga, this is like very, very similar to Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
Ooh, nice.
In terms of like the world setting and having a sort of god deity that like looks after you and gives you abilities based on that.
Yep.
It's also an isekai. Whereas Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls isn't.
Nope, just a fantasy.
Just a fantasy, whereas this one is an isekai. Also, it's got a really cute cat in it. Somewhere.
There it is.
There's the cute cat. That may or may not also be a sexy girl. Are you surprised that the isekai has a sexy cat girl? I'm trying to shuffle along. Next we have a series that Ben doesn't care for.
No, not bothered about the 16 volumes.
And the Nendoroid.
Red.
That you pre-ordered like over a year in advance.
Yep.
And that you like begged me to throw volumes when a new release comes out into my basket.
Maybe.
Next we have Overlord 1 to 16, and how much do you enjoy the series, Ben?
I enjoy the series quite a lot since I've read all but number 16.
You've not read 16?
I've not read 16.
He's just a fake fan.
I'm just a fake fan.
It's probably your favourite
Yeah.
light novel. No. You don't go anywhere near as crazy for Arifureta or Log. Actually, maybe Log Horizon, but you're like, Log Horizon is stuck in the never gonna get any more volume cycle.
In the limbo.
But you love Overlord. I mean, I must say, they're not my favourite spine. I do think they're a bit dull, but I can appreciate how nice and imposing they are, and also the nice hardbacks.
The covers are great.
You do love the covers. I think that's like your profile picture in most places, isn't it?
It used to be.
Oh, okay.
It might still be on the Discord.
I must say, sometimes you show me these covers and I'm like, I just don't actually understand what I'm looking at. I can't work out what's happening.
And then you start reading the novel and the cover starts to make sense.
Oh, I'm not doing that. That sounds like a lot of effort.
So the premise is an android apparently. So it's an isekai.
Oh my god.
And it's about a guy who really likes this MMO that he's playing. But it's been out for many years and it's not doing as well as it used to. They don't have the money to keep it going, so it's closing down. And on the very last day, the main character logs into the game and tries to meet up with his guild members and reminisce about the times they had. The fun that they had, yeah. And I think only like one other guild member logs in and you have a quick chat. And it's just him at the end of the game as the saver counts down to 0, and then it gets to 0 and he's still in the game. And he can't log out, he's been isekai'd. So it's basically trying to figure out the world that he's been thrust into, which is kind of like the world from the MMO, but different in various ways, and also trying to see if any of the members of his guild got isekai'd along with him. And then it just kind of unfolds into this huge geopolitical thing, which is always fun.
And he changes his name, doesn't he? Because his name isn't Ainz, is it? That's the name of the guild.
Yeah. And
he changes his name to the name of the guild to make it easier if people hear it and be like, oh, I know the guild.
Yeah.
What's his actual name?
Momonga.
Ainz is better. Being a bit zoomy.
A little bit zooming. Being hyper for the camera.
Next is Perfect Blue, which was a pickup in HMV for $4.99. I didn't realise it was a light novel till I got home, opened it up, and it had words in it, and then I gave it to you.
Yep.
There is a movie, isn't there?
So, yes, I think. I'm not too familiar with any of it, but Perfect Blue is meant to be a film by Satoshi Kon, which I've not seen. And there's a shot from Perfect Blue that's lifted 1-for-1 into Inception.
Oh, okay. I wonder which came first.
Probably Perfect Blue.
No. Yeah, I know that. I mean the light novel or the movie.
I'm going to assume the movie, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Because it's like Satoshi Kon, isn't it?
Don't ask me. I'm just an uneducated weeb. Next we have Rascal Does Not Dream Of 6 and 7. Now this was a slightly faux pas accident on my part. I didn't realise that each of the volumes in this series had a different subtitle, and that I'd picked him up volume 7 as the first one. I thought I'd get him to try a slice of life, and I thought I'd found a one-shot, but that was not the case. And I do keep apologising about it, and I'll just find you the rest. Apparently it's a decent one. I just didn't realise they all had different subtitles. Apologies. Well, they're both from other books, as is most of these shelves.
I don't know anything about it, other than I have volume 6 and 7.
You do. At least there's two next to each other, I guess. And they're different colours, which suggests there's going to be a rainbow.
Is 7, yeah, I guess. No, I don't know. It's not going to be an orderly rainbow. It'll just have different colours.
I'm fine with that. Next we have Reborn as a space mercenary. I woke up piloting the strongest starship. 1, 2, 3, and 5. Oh, you don't have 4.
I don't have 4. I'm really sad.
You really like this series.
I really like this series for no discernible reason.
It's because it's sci-fi, and there aren't many isekais that are sci-fi.
It's a sci-fi isekai. A guy gets reincarnated into a video game, but this video game is pretty much just EVE Online. And so he's reborn with his spaceship, and it's a really strong spaceship. And he's also got super isekai powers, so he can beat everything up. But it's just kind of, it's in space, so it's kind of fun and different because it's not a fantasy thing.
And it's like sci-fi fantasy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, there isn't that many sci-fi isekai, is there?
No, not really. I mean, there are things that count as sci-fi, like Log Horizon counts as sci-fi, Sword Art Online counts as sci-fi, but it's not like in space.
No, is it just because it's a video game? Really?
Well, I mean, Sword Art Online is set in the future, or at least it was set in the future when it released.
I was gonna say, isn't it 2022?
Log Horizon's the same, Overlord's the same technically. The MMO's from like 2099 or something.
Is that really what counts as sci-fi, just being set in the future?
Apparently.
Star Wars is sci-fi, and I'm fairly sure their tagline is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make sense.
I feel like it's more the galaxy far, far away rather than the long time ago for that one.
But you were clarifying that it was about being in the future, and that's what made Sword Art Online.
I don't make the rules.
You're trying to implement them. We'll discuss this later.
But yeah, I think the author of that also does another isekai series. I think it's Reborn in Another World with My Mistress or something like that.
Survival. That's a Minecraft one.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to get you volumes, but they're always like £12-13. Next we have Reborn as a vending machine. I Now Wander the Dungeon 1-3, and this is up to date, but not. I think the series kind of went on a bit of a hiatus. It's got an anime recently, and the manga's come out, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
You've read.
I've read the first one. I don't know how much of that is covered in the anime, whether that gets ahead of volume 1 or whatnot, where the series is in anime and manga form.
I saw someone say, no, I thought you said, like, it kind of worked out to the first, like, half of this light novel based on what I said to you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the premise is a guy gets reborn as a vending machine. I think he dies by a vending machine falling on him.
Yes.
And then he gets reborn as a vending machine, and so obviously he can't talk. So he has to kind of communicate through like vending machine noises, and if he runs out of power then he dies, so he needs people to put money in him so he can dispense stuff, and then he can use that money and points to change what he stocks. And he comes across this woman who is like for some reason super strong and can carry him around.
It's interesting. I think in the manga and the anime, the way he dies by vending machine is different.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a vending machine in both, but it's done in different ways. I think, having only watched the first episode of the anime, and I can't fully remember.
So yeah, I enjoyed the first light novel. I should probably read more of the series.
I think I read some of the light novel, but not much. It gets a little bit more adult, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. I don't know how. Well, I would say I don't know how. I can probably guess how you get adult with a vending machine.
I was gonna say, I think because the whole thing is that he can dispense anything that he has previously gotten from a vending machine in his life on Earth, and he is a vending machine enthusiast, so that is a lot of stuff. And I think he starts dispensing adult items. I think.
I feel like it's a bit weird to describe a light novel as Kafka-esque, but that's definitely the category this thing falls into.
Next we have Reign of the Seven Spellblades 1, 2, and 5. Again, these have been bought for you off World of Books or Secondhand. I read some of the manga and really liked it. We even did a watch party of the first episode in the Discord server a little bit ago.
So I've not read any of the light novels. I saw bits and bobs of the anime while we were trying to get the stream set up. So I vaguely know bits of the first episode.
You were sat with me. Did you not watch it?
No.
Okay. Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling, Volume 1. Did I just order you this? I think it's new. I don't think this one's secondhand. I'm not sure.
It looks good condition.
So this one's quite similar, like mechanic-wise, to So I'm a Spider, So What? Where they start off as a Dragon Hatchling and they start doing things to earn XP and kind of level up and follow a evolution tree.
Okay.
But they're a dragon, and they're actually above ground and talk to people.
So eventually there'll be a big dragon.
Eventually,
In
they
theory.
should, in theory, be a big dragon. We've already gotten a decent size in the manga. Next we have Reincarnated as a Sword 2, which is a nice chunky volume. This was secondhand as well. If it's out of order, it'll have been bought secondhand or on sale. This one's meant to be really good. Like, at first I thought it's a bit weird, a young cat girl with a big sword. It's quite brutal and good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've not read, because this is number 2. I've not read the light novel, but I have read the manga.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did. I quite enjoyed the manga.
So I'll try and find you one of that for Christmas. You need to say as we go along if there's any others you want me to find you. Is Restaurant to Another World 2. I actually have no idea how many light novels this has, but the manga is complete of 4.
Oh, okay.
Have you watched any of the anime?
No.
It's a really cozy. It's like this restaurant that it has a door that kind of moves around to other worlds, and then these people in these other worlds come into this restaurant and eat I think it's mostly Japanese cuisine, or Earth cuisine actually. I think sometimes they make other things that's not just Japanese cuisine. But they get like dragons and demons and stuff. But the door appears in like the most weirdest of places in other worlds. It's really cute, sweet. It's a light-hearted one.
Yeah, I've not touched the series, because that's number 2.
It is number 2. I'm so sorry. You have quite a few just number 2s, don't you?
Yeah.
This is ReZero. 1, 2, 3, 6, 11, 12, 15, and 18. And again, I think I've got a stack to give you for Christmas as well.
Ooh, nice.
You originally didn't want me to pick this up for you.
I don't remember why I said that.
Because it's on like 30 volumes, and you said you didn't want another really long-running
Yeah, I think
series.
I vaguely remember, because like I had series that I was reading, like Log Horizon and Ari Forever and Overlord. I didn't want to start this until I'd like started finishing up some of those.
But I bought them for you anyway, because I found them cheap. I couldn't believe finding volume 1 cheap. I also can't believe that like the 30-something light novels come out in Japan now. This is really long.
It's also popular.
It's very
Ram and
popular.
Rem.
I dread to think how far in the manga's gone. If it's on like 30 plus light novels, probably not horrendously far. We're behind on the manga actually quite a bit. You'd started to read the manga, hadn't you?
Yeah, I've been reading as much as we've got, which is like we're into like part 3.
Part 4 is currently printing, but we're missing a volume in part 3.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find, and it's because the manga, the light novel doesn't, but the manga does it in parts, like Ascendance of a Bookworm, where it does like part 1, volume 2, part 3, volume 1. It can be tricky to find a particular volume, because if you search like ReZero volume 1, it'll bring up like 4 or 5 different ones. It's a bit of a pain.
I've also watched a season of the anime.
They watched 2 seasons?
We might have watched 2 seasons.
I watched 1 season with you. I thought you kept going.
I might have kept going. I don't know where the season stopped or where I stopped watching.
I remember we watched up wherever I got up to the anime was the end of the second chapter. Which was like 7 volumes of manga in. I don't remember, but you'll get to it, won't you? You've got at least 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And you'll have some more in a few months.
Yep. I'll have to make a start on the light novels.
You need to do an tier list of what you'll read next. All of it.
All of it, yeah. This is the TBR shelves.
That's like mine. Next we have Rising of Shield Hero 1 to 5, 8, 9, 15, 16, 18, 22. And the reprise of Spear Hero 1 to 3. Now, all of these I think have been on sale, which is why there's some strange gaps. But I find Rising of Shield Hero volumes are always popping up secondhand, because I've got like 3 on order that should fill in some gaps, and you'll get those at Christmas. And they're like good prices. I'd say £5, £6 each, maybe. Have you read any?
I have read 1. I've not watched any of the... I've not read any of the manga, but I have watched 2 seasons of the anime.
I watched some of it with you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I remember I found it really weird, because there's a really... Like, the end of the first arc, they completely change what happens and what's said. They, like, move lines between characters. It feels like they're trying to paint the main character nicer than he is in the anime than the manga.
And the light novel. in the light novel is a lot more of a is definitely more of a darker character. The anime tries to make him look nicer, and in the light novel he's just not. He's a bit of a dick.
In the manga,
Understandably. Sorry.
well, yeah, I agree. In the manga, he's a bit of a dick, but mostly just because of what's happened. Whereas in the anime, he seems a lot more forgiving and kinder when he's not. But it just was really weird and interesting to see the changes, because especially watching some of the scenes, and it's like that's not what happened.
Yeah.
That's okay. So it's weird. How many other series? Because I don't watch anime, really. There's most of the isekais that I've watched is like Ben's watching something and I happen to be in the room doing something else. It's not me actively going out of my way to watch them. But it'd be interesting to see if there's many other changes like that. It's just I found it weird how much they've changed his character. Just why make him more knight? It's just to sell merch, maybe? I wouldn't be surprised. And then we have the Reprise of Spear Hero, which it's kind of a spin-off series where the Spear Hero is the main character, and he keeps getting sent back in time to the start of before heroes are summoned, and he is trying to, I can't fully remember, he's trying to find, I think, Philo, and also just be nicer person in general. Be honest, I've read some of the manga. It's a little weird the way he is with some of the bird children. It's a bit creepy.
I have not touched the Reprise of Spear Hero, so I don't really know much about it.
I got you all of them on sale, I think, and it'll have been pretty cheap. Because, yeah, it was 50% off. 50% off that, and they were doing 3 for 2 as well, so even more off than that, which is good. I again love the stumpy thick volumes. I think they're so cute. One Piece books and Seven Seas. And next we have Roll Over and Die 1. Oh wait, Roll Over and Die. I will fight for an ordinary life with my love and cursed sword 1.
I've not read this. I only wanted to pick it up because the title was kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I read the first volume of the manga and I wasn't that bothered. There was so much lore set up, I just got lost and fell over myself. And then it took ages for another volume to come out, and I've not read it, and I don't even know if any more are out.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it at all.
Saga of Tanya the Evil, 1 to 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. They're such nice spines-ish. I wish there was more colour, but I like the muted colours. Like that purple is a good purple. You've not read them yet, have you?
I've not read them yet. I've watched a little bit of the anime, so I know the premise.
I've read a bit of the manga as well. Mostly because I wanted to watch Isekai Quartet, and at the time, this was the only Isekai in that series that I'd not seen or watched any of. That's the main reason we got into it. But you have quite a lot.
Yeah, I've got quite a lot. I can read the first 4. I might have to do sometime.
I think this is one that you picked up some in Travelling Man.
Probably.
Next we have the Saint's magic power is omnipotent, 2 and 4, and these were both secondhand. These were slightly bought for me, I suppose.
You suppose.
Well, it's not a villainess isekai, it's just a female lead isekai. You might like it. It's not entirely focused on romance.
I'm trying to remember. I think I've read the first volume of the manga.
Have you?
Yes. There was some reason you wanted me to read it, so I read it.
Oh, I remember why. I needed your opinion on something. And then your opinion ended up being, I don't really know. Great, thanks. Next, you have... Sexiled. My sexist party leader kicked me out, so I teamed up with a mythical sorceress. And it's really thin. Who is it? J Novel Club. Have you read this?
I have read it.
Of course you have. It's
like tiny.
And it's a degenerate series. I can't get it back. What? It's called Sexiled.
Yeah.
I assume it's degenerate.
No. It's weird because it's like an isekai that's based on an actual event. So it's like there was a this is just weird. There was a scandal in Japan. There was a medical university that was specifically not taking female students, or taking female students less often, because they thought they'd take the degree and then wouldn't go into work, they'd just marry and have kids or something. And it was a big scandal at the time, and like in response to that, I guess, this author wrote this isekai, which kind of, there's a world where that kind of thing takes place and they kind of fight back against it kind of thing.
Against the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm almost disappointed. I don't know. That's quite extra.
That is quite extra.
Is there more volumes out?
Maybe. That says number 1 on it, so I assume there's going to be more.
Okay. She professed herself pupil of the wise man 1, 2, and 4.
Don't know anything about it.
It's about a character. It's a video game isekai where someone who plays the character of a really old guy is like, let me just faff with the character creator and let me see what I'd look like as a really cute little girl. And then for some reason gets stuck and can't change back to his main character, and also is now in the video game. And also a whole bunch of time has passed in game. But his character was like a big deal. A really big deal. Like it was one of 7 or one of like a council or something. But obviously in game they can't say I was just messing with the character creator because that won't make any sense. So instead they just blag off that they're a pupil of this old guy. But what's quite interesting is I've read the first 2 manga volumes and they squeezed all the story from the first light novel into the first manga volume.
Oh, okay.
Because they weren't sure if they were going to keep running it. It was like a trial, I think. I could be misremembering. So the first manga volume is it goes at a bit of a pace.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to the back and I was like, this makes a lot of sense now. And then they were like, yeah, we're fine, we're good, we're going to spread it out a bit more. And I was like, thank God.
They're like playing a YouTube video on like 3 times speed.
Yeah, it's okay. I think you might like it because it's like OP powers, but it's not an explicit booby harem. I can't get it to focus. Booby harem. It's a bit different, a bit more it's not really romancy. So much dust. So we have Skeleton Knight in Another World 1, 2, 4, 5, and 9.
I've read the first one.
And?
It's a Skeleton Knight in Another World. Which was partly why I read it, because I like Overlord and the main character in that is a skeleton. I was like, maybe this will be alright as well, and it is. Okay.
It reminds me a bit of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
More than Overlord.
Yeah. It's nothing like Overlord.
I think apart from the skeleton.
Apart from the guy's a skeleton.
It's got a cute little animal companion, which you can see on the volume 9 spine. It's a bit gory, at least in the manga. Well, I assume the light novel's gory, just descriptively gory.
Yeah, which means you don't have to plastic wrap it.
Yeah, I think these have all been secondhand as well, except maybe the first one. Summer Spider So What? 1, 2, 11, and 14. This is one of my favourite isekais.
Yeah, you like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I've read number 1, and I've watched some of the anime.
I remember you like showing me pages from the light novel because of how much you liked it. Because the manga's quite like stat and skill heavy.
Yeah.
But the light novel is like another level.
Yeah, there is lots of like stat boxes.
You showed me like they'd leveled up and there was like pages of all the skills they'd learned and like their new stats.
It seems to be a thing with some of these isekai series where they try and do video game stats that they kind of start out with lots and lots, and as the series goes on it kind of just disappears. It's like the same thing with Arifureta. They start off with stat blocks all the time, and then after a few volumes it just kind of fizzles out and they don't show any more stats. You just kind of there's no way to measure it because they're just getting too strong. There's nothing to compare it against. The numbers would just look silly.
I do think the manga, because I've read I think 12, is it 11 or 12 volumes of the manga that have come out, they do stop. It's not as stat and level-y chatty as it was at the beginning, so I wouldn't be surprised if the light novel was the same. But yeah, I can understand that. It does get a point where it's like, well, there's just no point, is it? It's just, yeah, you're very powerful.
Yeah.
But I really like this one. I'm unsure on the current arc in the manga, but I really like the early arcs, which is probably the first few light novels at least. 14 is quite a lot though, and that's not even the recent one.
Mm-hmm.
Solo leveling 1 to 5. I'm not sure if that's up to date.
No, I think there's like 7 or 8 now.
Oh, okay. I really like the manhwa.
Yeah, I've read the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. I just need to read more of it, I think. is a recurring thing for some of these series.
I get you too much. Sometimes you decide to do other things besides reading, and it's very, very rude of you.
Crazy, I know.
The Sorcerer King and the Sorcerer King of Destruction and the Golem of the Barbarian Queen. 1.
I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, I got this for you on sale. I read the manga, I wasn't that impressed. I got really confused as well, because some places online said it was complete at 2 volumes, and then I saw that they were publishing the 3rd manga volume, and I was like, wait, what? It's not complete at 2 then, is it? It was fine. I just wasn't blown away. It was okay. It was on sale, so I got you it. Spy Classroom 1 to 3.
I've not read it. I assume it's about a class of spies.
Basically. I also wasn't blown away by the manga, or at least the 1st volume.
It's not an isekai, so it has a short title that tells you what it is.
Well, it looks like they all have subtitles. I can't read them from here though, but it does look like they all have subtitles. Yeah, it's not the same as an isekai title though. I thought it'd be neat. It's not isekai, it's not fantasy, it's kind of slice of life, but not slice of life, more like action-y, bit different. It's meant to be good. So Classroom Elite is meant to be good. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you'll like it. Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary 1 and 3. Now, I do like the manga of this one. Also not an isekai, just fantasy.
Oh, okay.
I do like it. It's, again, a bit more darker, quite high stakes. I just thought it was quite good. The action, I think, was good.
Well written.
Well, in the manga it was.
Okay.
I don't know how many light novels there are. Strike the Blood 9, 18 and 20.
I can't see from here. I think this is the same author as Hollow Regalia.
Oh, okay. Apparently it's very hard to find some of the volumes for this. I have got you some more that you get for Christmas. And then I looked up some of the prices online and fainted practically.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Of the ones I've gotten you, that I got for £3 each, Volume 1 is included in that stack, so at least you could start reading it if you wanted.
Okay.
Suppose a kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies moved to the Starter Town 1 and 7.
I've not read it, but from your description of the series, I'm vaguely interested because it sounds kind of fun.
It is fun. I dipped a bit, I think Volume 2 or 3, but I really, really like it. It's very dumb. Basically, he's super insanely overpowered, but compared to, well, in the village he's from, he's like below average, he's a bit shit, but compared to a normal person, he is still stupidly overpowered. He just can't comprehend that because all his life he's like been bottom of the rung in the village that he's from, so he just doesn't realise that he is actually silly powered. It's silly. It's fantasy, not an isekai. It's just good.
And it doesn't look that long. Read it in an afternoon or something.
Oh, I thought you meant number of volumes, but you mean how thick they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Sword Art Online 1 to 12?
Yeah.
And then Scene Change and 13 to 23. No, you don't have 21. 13 to 20, 22, 23, 26. I can't believe how much Sword Art Online there is.
There is lots of Sword Art Online.
These have almost all been secondhand as well. I've gotten you them in the most randomest of orders.
There seems to be plenty of people that try Sword Art Online and then don't like it and get rid of the volume.
It's probably just too much of a commitment. As I've said before, light novels generally cost more than manga. So if you're buying it new, it's just really expensive.
Yeah.
So you've read the first couple or so, I think?
I've read the first one.
And what drove me crazy was when you said that they wrap up the Aincrad arc in the first light novel.
That is crazy.
I couldn't...
It ends a bit differently than it does in the anime, but it does wrap up at the end of the first light novel.
My understanding is, having looked into it after that, the second light novel is like side stories and stories of things that happened during Aincrad, but the main story and them getting out ends in the first light novel.
Yep.
So what are they doing
for the other
26? I know there's like Fairy Dance and Phantom Bullet and all the other stuff, and you can actually see the subtitle of the arcs, which is quite neat on these. But damn, learning that all of that is just one light novel ish. Yep. It's crazy. Now they've probably pulled stuff from the side stories and all, but yeah.
I think I've read the first one, but the anime I watched up to Gun Gale Online.
Oh, okay.
So they do Sword Art Online, the Ironclad stuff, and then the fairy stuff, and then Gun Gale Online, which is...
Wait, is it Gun Gale? I thought it was Phantom Bullet.
It might
Am I
be
mixing
Phantom
them
Bullet,
up?
I don't know.
I have
They
no idea.
shoot guns in that one.
Well, they're both got gunny names. I'll go look up a list after this. It doesn't help. The manga doesn't really have like, there isn't like a 1, 2, 3 through all of the arcs. There is the subname.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've done all of them. Oh, it's so confusing. And then we have Progressive 3 and 4, and I think I have got you some more Progressive as well for Christmas.
Okay.
So Progressive is like a retelling of Aincrad, or at least the manga is. And now Yuna's going to describe the next set of light novels, aren't you, Yuna?
I'm going to point at that one, and that one is the next light novel series that I have read.
Are you saying Yuna's read more light novels than you?
Yes.
What's your favourite light novel series?
That one.
Next, we've got That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 15. I have got the most random set of volumes for this. These have come from all over the place, like being on sale and stuff. I can't find any sale stickers on them though. Some of them have got a few creases. That one was juiced.
Upside down 7. That means they give you 7 times.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's how it works. If you print it upside down, it's like inverted.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome. Top tip.
Have you read any?
You
read the first one, did you?
I might have read the first one, yeah.
You have read some of like the volume ones.
And I've watched a bunch of the anime in the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, and I'm up to date with the manga. I really like it. The manga's actually quite far behind, I believe. Like,
There's bend in the back corner, but I think it's okay.
like just having a quick look on the backs, I think volume 8 of the light novel is where the manga is.
Oh, okay.
English print. But like what is described on the back of that happened in the volume I've just read. That's new-ish.
Like twice as far.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's vaguely latest.
Probably not. It just says 2022, and we're in September 2023, so that's very likely there's been more.
Yeah.
Damn. It's the thing, there's just so much content in light novels.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, you almost just expect the mangas to give up. Because that's happened most of the time. Going through this, the manga just gives up at a point.
And then
Just
the light
stops.
novels just keep going.
Light novels just don't end. And a lot of these have a web novel that's before the light novel.
Yep.
Next we have Though I Am an Inept Villainess, Tale of the Butterfly, Rat Body Swap in the Maiden Court. This was one of the like random titles I picked you up in London as part of a 3 for 2. I did originally pick it up before I'd read the manga and saw Villainess and was like, grab it for you. But it's not an isekai and it's not really villainessy.
Is it not?
No, it's set in this typical like
Like a court.
imperial court,
Yeah.
and there's like different factions of the country that all have a maiden that go to the imperial court to like try and vie for the emperor's attention. And there's a favoured maiden and a maiden that no one likes and calls a villainess. At the beginning of this is all like beginning of the story. The villainess maiden does like some magic to swap bodies with the favoured maiden. So now it's a body swap basically. Except the favoured maiden was very, very sick. So now the villainess character is stuck in this really sickly body, and the nice maiden is now in the villainess's body, but she's not sick anymore, and she like is taking this as like a present. She's got a new lace of life. She's able to do things she couldn't do before, like gardening and housework, and she's just a bundle of joy and niceness.
No.
So in hindsight, it's probably not something you'd enjoy. Oh, maybe. Have you read Apothecary Diaries?
I read the manga.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed Apothecary Diaries.
You might enjoy it. It's different. It's not really. There is a slight romance elements, but it's not like really. Torture Princess Volume 1. I think this was gotten on sale. Or secondhand, maybe. It was a Volume 1, which is why I grabbed it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Trapped in a Dating Sim 1 to 3 and 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm struggling to find you volume 4.
Oh no.
I got you the first 3, I think for like Valentine's Day, because I was like, it's vaguely.
It's got dating in the name.
It's got dating in the name. And you were like unsure because you were like, it's an ultimate game thing. I don't know if I'll enjoy it, but you did enjoy it.
I did enjoy it, yeah.
Because there's a lot of use of mecha.
Yeah.
And you like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It is an isekai.
It is an isekai, yes.
Where the guy is isekai'd into a matriarchal society.
Because it's not a mega game.
Because it's an otome game. Yeah. And he ends up befriending like the main female character from the otome game. And it ends up enduring the wrath of all the male main characters, but not for the reasons you think. It's kind of fun. It's very long for what it is, because it's still printing.
Yeah. And number 3 looks giant. Compared to the
Really,
rest.
really does, doesn't it? And I got you some of these on World of Books secondhand, like just after they released. I think I got you both of these, if I remember correctly, like for £5 each. I was really happy.
Okay.
So we have Unnamed Memory 1 and 4. Also not an isekai. It is a witchy themed series. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the manga.
Should I read it for Witchtober?
You should read it for Witchtober, because I'm not a fan of spooky or horror, so I'm going to do a witchy themed October, and I'm saving all my witchy volumes, including volume 3 of the manga. You should definitely do it.
Okay.
You promised now.
Yeah, on camera.
On camera. And I'll leave it in. Unwanted Undead Adventurer, volume 3. Got you this on sale for $4.99. This is a pricey series, and the manga is easily $13.99 in store, and it's thinner than that.
It's J Novel Club though, so it'll be dense.
It will be dense. This is quite dense. So yeah, I've not got your volume 1. It's not an isekai, it's just a fantasy. A guy goes into a dungeon and ends up kind of dying and becoming undead, and then I don't remember what else happens.
Just starts chilling.
Well, I think he's trying to figure. He needed to try and figure a way to get out without scaring people, because like he's a bag of bones now. I just can't remember. It's been a while. And then I didn't pick up volumes for ages because they were expensive. Next we have The Wandering Witch Journey of Elena 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. I think these covers are really nice.
Yeah.
It's another witchy series.
And they've put the names around the hat.
Oh yeah. It was kind of just I read some of the manga. It was just a witch ambling about, sort of doing witchy things that only witches can do.
I had to do a double take then, because I thought it said it was written by Joe Hisaishi. It's not.
So you can read some of these in October as well.
Yeah. We're in the witch section.
There's only 4 manga volumes out, and I think it took like 2 years for volume 4 to come out. So I imagine we have a while to wait for more. Next we have Warlords Sigridifer something. Ben, you say it.
Warlords of Sigdrifer Rosalka.
Oh, okay.
So this is by the author of ReZero.
Oh, is it?
It is.
It's a chunky hardback.
It's a chunky hardback. And so just because of the author, I was like, do I, don't I? It's a big ask with it being a big chunky hardback. And so, yeah, eventually picked it up. That was the London trip we did, where we went to various manga shops, including Gosh Comics.
Didn't you get this in foils?
Yeah.
I remember now. You carried it.
I carried it.
Have you read it?
I have not read it. I don't really know anything about it much, other than
that was like your naughty read, pickup, because we had a few naughty pickups because it was all RRP. Light novels are only bought RRP if Ben pays for it. Next we have Woof Woof Story. I told you to turn me into a pampered pooch, not Fenrir. 1, 6, and 7, all secondhand. Not read it.
Not read it.
The manga's a bit weird because it reminds me a bit of that. Have you read any of I'm an S-ranked monster, but an elf girl took me as a pet?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not as weird as that. There's a very close relationship between this very big, massive doggy and this girl. It's more cute in this one. Yeah, guys, Isekai is a really, really big dog and is the pet of this girl. I don't think much has overly happened, having read 3 volumes of it, which isn't high praise. It's not bad. It's fine. World's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat 3. I think there's been such gaps with the volumes of the manga. I'm now behind. I'm not sure how far behind I am.
Yeah, you already start to get a vibe from the cover.
The plain generic male with women hanging off him and
I
a
was gonna
gun.
say terrible taste in women hanging off.
Wow. Yeah, it's a guy who was the best assassin on Earth, and he gets reincarnated, and God is like, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to assassinate." I think it's the hero.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll make you a kid, and you can grow up and hone your skills again. And then go kill the hero at some point. It's not too bad. I enjoyed it more than Woof Woof Story.
Yeah, I can't jump into it because it's number 3.
Yeah, okay. Get you some more. Final series is the world's strongest rearguard, Labyrinth Country, Novice Seeker, 1 to 4 and 6. Once again, all secondhand, nice chunky volumes. Some of them you can see, some of them were just on sale. Some have some dents on the corners. And you're missing volume 5. This is another okay isekai. You can tell it's an okay isekai if the main character is a guy and he either is not on the cover or is like thrown in the background as an afterthought.
I feel like it's like even as an isekai protag, he's not even trying. He's still got his business suit on.
Well, that's the
I expect
thing.
him to give people at the guild his business card.
That's the thing. Like, what happens is he's on like a work trip or a work retreat, and they're on the company coach or whatever, and the coach goes off a cliff, and everyone is isekai'd from that was on the coach into this other world. So this brown-haired lady is actually his boss.
Oh, okay.
And they're both like in this registration place just after being isekai'd, and like, this is weird. And he decides to keep his suit. I can't remember why he decides to keep his suit, but she changes. I think everyone's like assigned a role, like this is the role you are, and it's like it's one of those like tap the stone and it'll tell you what role you're destined for. And he gets rearguard, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, that's really shit.
I mean, looking at it again, it vaguely... Well, it's one of the few isekai covers where it vaguely makes sense. The guy's right in the back. Because he is the rear guard.
Yeah, okay, but I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said. So yeah, that's his boss. That's someone else they run into, and that's... I can't remember if it's like a golem or something like that, or an actual person. There was some strangeness.
Strangeness.
It's not exemplary, but it's not bad. Once again, it's better than Woof Woof Story. I should do a tier list of all my isekai. There is I love isekai. I love bad isekai, but a lot of it is very average. I just personally think like the exemplary isekai is extremely exemplary.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm not sure I'd rush into going to that one. There are other ones that you probably should read sooner. So Ben, that was the light novel collection tour. That took us like a week to go through, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try and desperately get through editing this as quickly as I can because I am away for a whole chunk of time. Did you enjoy doing that, Ben?
I did enjoy doing that. We just chill with the camera chatting about light novels.
Would you be willing to do more chatting and shit with me about manga and light novels in future videos?
Yeah, sure.
You just have to be nice about all my favourite series.
I just have to be nice and talking to the camera.
Yes. If you remember to talk to the camera and not like the other way or your feet, that would be really helpful.
Note taken as I look at your face.
As you look away from the camera, thanks. Has there been any series that we've gone through where you've gone, oh shit, I need to read that?
Well, there's some stuff that I've definitely I've bought to read and then not read.
Demon Lord 2099.
Yeah, that's probably the big offender. But even things like Warlord of Sigdrifer, where I've specifically there's that as a big hardback. There's also Full Metal Panic as a big hardback that I've
paid retail
and then not read.
I could never. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Ben.
You're very welcome.
If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a comment down below and subscribe. Thanks,
down below.
Thanks, Ben. Leave comments saying about what your favourite light novel series is. Have we tempted you with light novel series? Also, critique Ben for his first major video appearance. Also, check out my social media and affiliate links found down below, like using code Caketinz for 10% off Sci-Fi, which does have light novels if you're interested in trying any out yourself. Otherwise, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye bye.